Namaste, welcome. I want to invite you into our next Dissolving the Ego course that starts on the 6th of March. This is a 4-week course, very, very comprehensive course that I run a few times a year, and it won't run again after March until September. So if you really want to be a part of it, I encourage you to check out the link below this video for more information. Booking closes for this course on the 27th of February, so make sure that you get your booking in time. There is also a few scholarship places available, but the closing date for those scholarships for this, partial and full scholarships, is the 13th of February. So if you really want to apply for a scholarship for this, you really must take action as soon as possible. You can find details about how to apply for a scholarship on the page with a link underneath, or you can email us about anything at evolutionistspirit@gmail.com. The course is really a 4-week, 4 lessons over 4 weeks, and each lesson is built on what I really wish I'd known when I was waking up, trying to overcome illusion and trying to establish a firm foothold and living in and as that truth was essentially very challenging for me, as I'm sure it has been for you. The 4 lessons of the course make up fundamental building blocks, foundational blocks for our awakening. If we built any building, we need solid foundations. So there's 4 weekly lessons. There's also each week a live Q&A session where you have some time to study the lesson, apply it, and then ask questions about it. You don't need to be able to attend any of these sessions live. They're all recorded and uploaded to a page where you can view them later if you need to, and watch them again, even if you could attend live. And you can send in questions that will be read out anonymously and answered by me on the Q&A sessions as well. So you don't even have to be able to attend those live. Many people live in different time zones that aren't compatible, with our time zone here in the UK. So lesson 1 is really based on meditation, recognizing what we actually are. And we'll go through what meditation is, how to do it effectively, what it isn't as well, perhaps. All the things that we waste time on, we can set aside, and coming to recognize what we really are. Firstly, is something we do. We sit for 20 minutes a day is what I'm going to ask of you. You can split that into 10 minutes in the morning, 10 minutes in the evening if you have to. You can, of course, do more if you want to, and if you have the time. Not necessary, though. 20 minutes effective meditation each day is going to begin to move your awakening forward. Direct experiencing of what you really are, the silence, the stillness, the consciousness, and just making it much more accessible in lesson 1. And in lesson 2, we're going to look at what happens when we seem to be thrown out of that real state. What happens when some karmic pattern comes up to pull our attention, some thought, some emotion, some experience that we don't like or want, is that's happening that seemingly pulls our attention away from that. How do we transcend that and bring attention back to what is actually real? And also, in doing so, allow our experience to change to what we want it to be. So in lesson 2, we'll look at contemplation as a way to undo cause and effect cycles that we have going on in our life. The idea that something out there is causing us to feel a certain way in here is what perpetuates duality, what keeps the illusion alive. And we're unknowingly sustaining the sense of duality, me here and everything else out there, through these karmic patterns. So lesson 3, we're going to look at shifting over identity. So how do we move in a very definite way our identity, what we know ourselves to be? Because I can know up here that I'm infinite and everywhere and there's nothing separate to me. But my body may be telling me in any particular moment that I feel actually quite separate still on some level to other beings and other things. And I might be still imagining a world out there separate to me. And my body will tell me that through negative emotions. My experience will tell me that through things not being the way I want them to be. So we'll look at how to shift identity over, how to prove to ourselves that we're already looking from stillness. We're already being the awareness. We're already the self. When that knowingness runs deep, that I am that self, that unmoving, unchanging self, then we're going to experience everything in our life in a very different way. We're not going to be reacting all the time to everything and everyone. We're going to be able to respond from a loving, calm, compassionate place to our own self and everyone else, of course. And it's not really true that there isn't anything we can do to speed that up. There are some really powerful questions we'll use in that, in lesson 3, to help us shift identity over, so that you have a firm conviction like the sages have had over the years. You just know beyond doubt that there isn't anything else other than you, which leads to an absence of fear, guilt, shame, all of that begins to disappear in this. And experiencing any karmic patterns that are remaining from the self, watching them unravel and unfold on their own, rather than being as someone trying to work through and transcend these patterns. Totally different experience. Lesson 4 is the icing on the cake. We'll look at how to prove to ourselves that form and formless are the same. One thing, yourself showing up 2 different ways, that you can appear as form or formlessness, and that they aren't really 2. So that the deep peace and quietness that we're developing in our meditation, with our eyes closed, sitting, doesn't have to seemingly be lost when we open our eyes and have to go to work or take the kids to school or whatever it is that we have to do in our life. Whenever we engage with other human beings, that sense of peace can seem to be lost. And lesson 4 is really experientially coming to see that they're not 2, form and formless, manifest, unmanifest, creator and created, and just to cement those in, so that we end up living peace, joy, love, compassion, no matter whether our body's active and talking and moving and working, or whether we're sitting in deep meditation. It begins to be the same, experienced as the same, and that everything and everyone we meet is embraced by the love and presence that we're radiating. So, as I said, booking closes on the 27th. There's still time to apply for a scholarship if you would like some financial help with that. I'd urge you to do that as soon as possible. And I look forward to seeing you joining the course, being part of this. There's a wonderful family group thing that happens over the 4 weeks. We have 8 sessions, 1 live session a week, 1 Q&A a week. And by the time we've had these 8 sessions, there's a wonderful family feeling, and we've watched each other have these breakthroughs and deepenings. There's only a few beliefs or assumptions that hold us back. And my job is to help shortcut that process by pointing those out. What we don't yet know we're believing can hold us back. When we bring it to the light, we begin to move beyond it. Thank you.